All right, happy Thursday. Welcome to Facebook Live with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am so glad that you're here with me tonight. I hope that whether you're catching me live or catching me on the replay, you'll drop a comment in the comment thread here and like and share this video. For everyone who shares, you get entered into a drawing to win the card that I make tonight, and then I'll send that to you. So hopefully you can do that for me. It really makes a big difference, so I appreciate it. Also, let's see. So let me mute that. There we go. Hey, Mom. So during August, I am doing a Facebook series on watercoloring. So tonight is the second night in this series, and I'm going to focus on using embossing folders to watercolor. Hey, Julie, I'm glad you're here. With that said, if you want the kits from last Thursday, tonight, and next Thursday, then make sure that you place a $35 order in my online store and use the host code that I will include in the description of this video. I'll put all of this in afterwards, and then I'll know that you want the kits. So I think that you're in South Dakota. I saw you guys were looking at Devil's Tower today. That's amazing. Joe climbed it several years ago, and I mean, the pictures were incredible. So I hope you guys are having a good time. Hey, Janie. Hope you're feeling better. All right. Just a couple of other things I have. So the new paper pumpkin got announced today, and it will come out mid-September, and it's all of the Halloween treat boxes and that kind of thing. So it looks really, really cute. It's got an Orchid Oasis ink spot, which is amazing because that's one of our new ink colors. And also we have, let's see, it makes 18 boxes. And every kit includes a full stamp set and the ink spot, and then all of the die cuts and card bases and envelopes and any sequins or ribbon or anything like that that you need. So the paper pumpkin is an incredible gift if you wanted to give someone something that got them started in crafting. Or if you just like to have crafting on the road, that's always really nice too. So I am going to turn my camera down and show you just a few things. And first, Julie, I'm glad that you're here because you won the drawing for last week. So I will be sending this card to you. So congratulations. And then I have my August class to go still available until next Tuesday. So we are making, well, actually that one's different, but we're using the Perched in a Tree bundle. So it's got a beautiful bird and this aspen forest die, and I just love it. So these are the cards that we'll be making. The class to go includes all of the pre-cut cardstock envelopes, designer series paper, embellishments, ribbon. It's about $25 in product that you'll get. And also the PDF and the, like I said, pre-cut cardstock and envelopes. So that is linked. It will be linked in the description of this video. And like I said, that goes through next Tuesday. And otherwise, my next in-person class is September 19th. And then I haven't totally worked out all of the details yet, but I do have some fun Christmas-focused classes coming over the next few months. So, hey, Aunt Pat, thanks for being here. So, celebration ends August 31st. If there's anything that you want, grab it because everything is going fast. And they do expect the hippo dies to be the next thing to sell out. So just so that you're aware. Oh, and then I was going to go back to this. This card I'm not actually including in the kit, but it's going to be in the PDF. So I used the Rooted in Nature. Is that what it's called? Tree Rings. I think it's Rooted in Nature bundle, as well as some of the supplies that are in the Class to Go kit. And so it's also a fancy fold. So I will provide the tutorial for how to make this, and then you can do it with anything that you have. So let's get started. Tonight we are focusing on using embossing folders to watercolor. So these are the samples that I had made. And these two use the Rooted in Love designer series paper, I think is what it is. It's the Celebration. And then I used some of the Rooted in Nature dies to do these cute little mushrooms. And this is actually a eucalyptus embossing folder. And that is where the watercoloring comes in. And then the designer series paper, I think it's the free paper. So that is that one. And then I used the stamps from Amazing Phrasing and did that for the inside. And then this one, excuse me, uses the Falling Leaves embossing folder, and it has actually just been added to the Celebration offering. So I was really excited to get that, and I think that the colors turned out really nice on the leaves. And then same designer series paper and stamp set here. And then this aspen leaf is actually from the aspen dies, which are part of that Perched in a Tree bundle. And this is the card that we're going to make tonight. So the embossing is on this panel. And for these cards, I did the same layout across the board, and then just changed details and color schemes and all of that, just trying to give you some really different visual ideas for how to use this layout. This is the Tree Rings Hybrid Embossing Folder, which is fantastic, and I absolutely love it. And I think the way it painted turned out really nicely too. So let's get started. And I will warn you that we are having a thunderstorm right now. And so there is an off chance that my power will go out and I won't be able to finish with you. If that's the case, then, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. So hopefully it won't go out though. It's been kind of a nice August, which is really weird to say because usually it is just an absolutely brutal month. But we have been having more like monsoonal kind of weather, the afternoon thunderstorms and not quite so hot. It's just fantastic. So that said, my generator, yeah, well, you know, Dad has recommended several different generators and we have yet to jump on that plan. So sorry about that. Okay. So I'm just going to start by adhering this to my card base, and I am using soft suede for the card base. And then I decided to use Seal Plus for my adhesive tonight because the embossing folder adds a lot of dimension to that panel. And I just feel like it works a little better if it's also with the glimmer paper. It's just a little easier to have some really strong adhesive. So this is the Tree Rings Hybrid Embossing Folder. Now, when you buy this just as itself, it actually includes the embossing folder and this set of dies. And so you can see here's where I got those cute little mushrooms. You can also use this to make a little acorn. And then the branches, I have yet to figure out what that die is, so I should probably do some investigating there. And then this, so what makes it hybrid is that you can actually cut and emboss at the same time. So you put this in here and it kind of, it doesn't lock into place, but it gets to where it's nested in there and can't wiggle. Put your paper on top and close it and run it through. And then you've got all of these tree rings cut out. And then you also have these pieces that you can use to layer into your tree rings, like if you wanted to do two different colors. So I have made some beautiful cards with this from a class that I took. And then I've also just seen a lot of really pretty samples, and I think it is a set that you're going to want if you don't already have it. So I am going to take a piece of shimmer white cardstock here, and I'm going to put it on this side of my embossing folder just to try to get as many different tree rings as possible. So let me run this through my machine and I will be right back. Janie, have you ever used one of the hybrids before? They really do. I think maybe this is the third catalog that we've had them, and they're fantastic. You can do some amazing things, and you can use them separately or together, so you just have a lot of options, which is always really nice. I feel like the more versatile a product is, the more use you get out of it, and nobody's going to complain about that, right? So, all right, there is my embossed piece. And you can see it does have a lot of dimension to it, especially with the outer rings. So what we will do now is just get to painting, assuming I can find everything. All right, so I am going to show you another way of doing watercoloring. And it's not hugely different from getting the ink into the lid the way I've shown you before, but you can also take a block and the bottle of ink re-inker, and you really don't need much. And just get that there and find my water painter here, and we're going to try with just the really fine tip and see how that does. So I just want to dilute it just a little bit because it looks so very dark. And then, all right, so this is one of those things that I do sometimes that I'm not ever very happy about. But I got the ink on it before it was really wet enough, and so it left that kind of smeary thing going on. And it'll be fine, but still not my favorite look. So I'm just taking a spritzer and I'm going to spritz the whole paper just a little bit, and that will help that not happen again. So you can see now it's kind of spreading a little easier. And then I also, no, lost that train of thought. There's a limit to how much I can do while I'm talking. But it'll come back if it was important. So I could use more water on this to spread it out, but since this is shimmer paper instead of watercolor, the Fluid 100, I just don't want it to be totally soaked. So just feel like I need some background music or the Jeopardy music or something while I'm doing this. Anybody want to sing? Surprised you can't hear my children thudding around upstairs. I don't know how such little bodies make so much noise, but they are seriously, I mean, it sounds like the whole house is gonna shake apart. So this is not turning out as beautifully as the sample that I had already shown you, but I will say that when I first did all this, the painting is so imprecise that I did not love the way any of them looked at the time. And then once it dried and really everything set and was put together, I realized it was actually a really nice effect. Watercoloring is never going to turn out the same 2 times in a row. And I think that's one of the things that makes it really special. And here, like, yeah, this is not perfect, but you guys will see how you can adapt things. And have them still turn out. All right, so just going to touch up a couple spots here. And we will call that good. Set that aside to dry for just a second. And then I'm just going to clean my brush by squeezing out a bunch of water until that is clear. One of these days I'm going to actually wash that cloth that I use, but not today. So there is that. Now the other thing that I managed to do, because I think I designed these like 10 days ago or something, I forget a lot in between crafting sessions. So I didn't cut the strip for the sentiment, so I'm just going to grab that really quickly. And fortunately, all of my paper is really easily accessed because I keep it in a filing cabinet right behind my crafting space. So let's see. It's a little bit bigger of a sentiment, so I am going to do just a 3/4 inch strip. And there is that. Oh, and it wasn't straight. Oh my gosh. It is one of those nights, you guys. Joe got home from work crazy late. John was at a friend's house, and nothing has been the norm. So anyway, I'm just going to trim this so that it is actually nice and square. And this is just a little mini guillotine cutter that I have. It goes a little bit smaller strips than the big guillotine that I have. And it's just a little different to use than the Stampin' Trimmer that I do use sometimes. So, okay. Sentiment is going to be stamped in soft suede ink on So Saffron cardstock. And this is the Amazing Phrasing stamp set. So this is a freebie. You get it with a $100 order. And it's kind of a builder set, so you can put together all different sentiments and really make them suit the situation, which is nice. Okay, and I feel like To Another Year can be birthday or Thanksgiving or all sorts of things. So I liked that one. I am just going to put this in the inside of the card. There we go. And because it is so strong, I just don't think Seal Plus needs to be spread all the way across the cardstock the way I do with some of the other adhesives. And now I'm going to grab one of my branch die cuts, and I did already do these. These are from the Tree Rings die set. And I bet Julie's about to just keel over watching this. The glue's going everywhere. And it is just a day. If I didn't know better, I would say it was Monday. So I try to change up where I put things on the insides of cards, and I thought this one looked nice over here. So we'll do that, and I'm just not going to close it quite yet so that the glue doesn't stick to the card front. This is, I think, a 3/4 strip. 3/4 inches, yeah. So this has had enough time to dry sufficiently. It's not completely dry, but it will just lay right across here, and then that will just layer right on top, so you won't even see that awful mark. So I'm going to just add some Seal Plus to the back of this to hold that glimmer paper. All right, that looks pretty straight. So this and add this right here. And I am intentionally going over both edges because I want to trim it on both sides. So there's that. Bring my guillotine back in. Well, maybe. There we go. And I feel like that might not cut. And it's probably partly because it is still damp. So I can do scissors for this side. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. So that is done. And I have really been liking this kind of angle cut look lately. So we'll do that. And I wanted to put another die cut on the back of this. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is not my day. I should just go to bed. Wake up tomorrow. Hope it's better. So that is the downside of Seal Plus. But again, with all that texture, I guess I could use a liquid glue, but there we go. Okay, so I am just going to add this right there and that. And we can all breathe a sigh of relief that we survived making this card. So once again, oh, hey, Anne-Marie, thanks for being here. Yes, Seal Plus can be fussy. And yeah, so we survived. That's all I have to say. But anyway, that is the project for tonight. And then the other two that I made to show variations. So I'm just going to flip this camera back up, and hopefully you guys learned lots of things to do and not to do tonight. So thank you so much for being here. It's right on time, so that's good. And we got through without power issues. So I hope that you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Do some crafting, and thanks, Anne-Marie. Thank you all. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you will go over to my group and share your creations with this layout, and make sure you invite your friends or tag your friends and show people what you're crafting and the beauty that you're bringing into the world. So thank you all. Have a good evening. Bye.